Hey guys, welcome to an interesting video on Wild Rift. So today we're back with a Draven updated complete guide for patch 6.0b and above. But of course, as usual, before we really get into it, don't forget to check out Draven's basic guide for his skills, learning order tips and tricks as well as combos. I'll put that up in the cards above right now. So basically, Draven has three build variations. So you basically have the Magnetic Blaster build, you have the build where you sub the Magnetic Blaster with Shield Bolt like this, and you have the build where you go for collector, generally as a second item like this, right? So you have these three options. So now all of these have their own pros and cons. So really, let me just go through all of them right now. So basically, collector build is good if you're kind of snowballing because you get early armor penetration and it's going to help you snowball further. Of course, Immortal Shield Bolt is good if there are a lot of assassins, so you can get that extra protection against assassins. Generally, this is the most rare option. And then Blaster is generally the most consistent option because whether you're ahead or behind, you go for Bloodthirster into IE, which is going to give you a huge early game spike, and then you go for Blaster, which is not only going to give you attack speed, but it's also going to give you attack range. And since your autos hurt so much, this is really going to kind of help you, with that. So looking at what the top players are building, you can see the top two players are both going for the blaster, and the third guy is going for the collector build. So it's pretty much a little bit of your own kind of personal preference as to what you prefer. And when it comes to the runes, also I'll kind of get to that, but let's cover the build first. So first up, you start with the Gluttonous Greaves. You get the AD and the Omnivamp, and then first item always gonna be Bloodthirster. Of course, it's Draven's best first item option. You get a huge amount of AD bonus sets around high on health, and of course the physical vamp, which is really important for Draven as he gets into those long skirmishes. Then you have IE, of course, a lot of extra AD and also boosting your crit damage. Blaster for the extra range and attack speed, as I mentioned, and more reminder for the armor pen and the grievous wounds. And last item is going to be generally a defensive option. You have Maw, your Sterex, your GA, even things like that. Now for the runes, you have a couple options. Now honestly, after Lethal Tempo got nerfed, it's no longer like an essential rune for Draven. In fact, if you take a look at the top three players, there's two people going for Press the Attack and one guy going for Conqueror, so it's kind of your preference now between the three which one you want to go. In the gameplay you saw just now, I actually went for Conqueror because I kind of saw the enemy team comment. I'm thinking like with like two tanks, this is probably going to be a kind of game where there's going to be a lot of those long fights. I'm thinking Conqueror is going to be really good here, and Conqueror is just a solid rune in general. But of course, you can go for Press the Attack for the early lane damage, and if you can get like kills in lane, you can of course snowball the game. So Press the Attack, really solid option as well. So kind of just depends on what you prefer and the match situation. Now, of course, the rest of it standard ADC loadout: Brutal because you auto attack a lot, Giant Steel to deal with the tanks, Alacrity for more attack speed, and Bone Plating for the defensive capabilities. Now for the spells, you always want to go for Flash, of course, but with Draven for your second spell, I think you normally, let's see what the top players are building. You have Exhaust, Cleanse, and Exhaust. So you normally want to go for Exhaust on Draven because Draven gets into those early game fights and you want to exhaust your opponent and, of course, just get into it with them and, get a kill and cash in and snowball. Now, of course, if they have Cleanse, they can cleanse their Exhaust, but it's a summoner for summoner trait, right? Now, I think the second best option you have is actually Barrier because Barrier, of course, helps you out a lot in the early game, and this is going to be very helpful when it comes to those early game fights. Of course, Cleanse is also going to be an option if there's a lot of CC on the enemy team, but these are generally going to be the top three options to go for. Exhaust being the first, Barrier being the second, and Ghost being the third. But with all that said, now let's move on to talking about the gameplay. Alright, so now let's take a look at the gameplay. Of course, before we really get into it, as usual, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Any questions, queries, or remarks, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I will, of course, be sure to address them. So, this game, we're rocking this new Primetime Draven skin that I got from a chest, and his voice lines are just insane. If you guys know, if you guys have it, you know what I'm talking about. And he's here with a Blitzcrank. Of course, Blitzcrank, one of the best supports currently, in my opinion, because of the new Euro Trap item. However, Tristana is disrespecting us a ton. She's just walking up. And Draven is currently, I think, in a decent spot in the meta right now. Like, he's kind of middle of the road. Not amazing, but not horrible either. He has trouble dealing with tanks. You guys will see right against Mordekaiser as well as Nautilus, both of which are tanks, which is kind of why I picked Conqueror, because I think it's easy to stack Conqueror on tanks. and you will see we will have quite a bit of trouble dealing with them. However, the good thing about Draven is if you get fed enough, you can eventually deal with the tanks, and you will hopefully see this later on in this gameplay if I do end up getting fed. So we'll have to see about that. Of course, don't want to give too much of a spoiler. But here, huge hook onto Tristana. We're trying to take her out. There we go, first blood completed. And you can see here we're doing no damage to Nautilus whatsoever. So yeah, like we have full stat Conqueror now, but it doesn't really matter. It's Conqueror doesn't really help to kill tanks that much. It just gives you a lot of extra AD and Omnivamp, which is of course helpful, but it's not gonna be killing the Nautilus at level 3. So here we just want to shove in this wave, and then we can go back and of course pick up some items. Now this Tristana, I do believe I played against her like more than one game in a row. I think it's like the Zeri video that I did, I think she was also my opponent, but I'm not very sure. Yeah, so yeah, Tristana not the best player in the game, I guess you could say. She just got hooked by the Blitzcrank there, and yeah, not too hot. But anyways, let's continue on talking about Draven. So of course, Draven very aggressive early game. In this particular matchup, it's tank engage versus tank engage. I mean, it's literally two hook champions, and then of course we have Tristana and Draven. Now Tristana honestly is a pretty decently strong champion in the early game. Here Nautilus misses the engage, so here I actually get a few free stacks of Conquer, and then I'm going for Tristana, flash forward, get the kill, get the cash in, but the minion wave is huge, so I'm probably going to die to minions, and we do end up dying to minions eventually. And now we have a 1v1 between Nautilus and Blitzcrank. Of course, Blitzcrank tanking minions as well, doesn't look too good, but is going to be able to get out scot-free, of course, eventually, because Nautilus is not gonna end up killing him, nothing like that is gonna happen. So now we're headed back to lane. Our support is going to be resetting. But yeah, I definitely faced this Tristana in some other video before, not the Zeri one. I'm not sure which one it was. I think it might be the Sivir one, but yeah, the need to know name is very, very familiar, but it doesn't really matter. So here we already gotten 2 kills. We did cop a death there, but it doesn't matter. We got 2 huge cash-ins, so that's all we really want. I mean, if you can get a huge cash-in and you die for it, it's generally going to be okay, unless you lose the game off of it, then it's going to be a problem. So here once again we're getting a lot of free stacks of Conquer, and then again another hook comes in, but unfortunately the ulti misses. A bit anti-synergy there, and we do end up dying eventually to the gank, that comes in from the Talon. So yeah, probably could have killed Tristana there, but unfortunately the hooked Tristana out of the way of my ulti, which is, yeah, I mean, these kind of things do happen. It's sort of like same deal with the Maokai Q. Sometimes your Maokai Q pushes the guy away from like a Varus arrow or something like that. It does happen, so yeah, kind of unavoidable at times. So here we're now 2-2, not doing the best, but still pretty decent. Still a ton of gold. That's what matters. So here we're getting free stacks onto Nautilus again. Of course he doesn't have hook cooldown because he just hooked the wall. There's the hook cooldown back. Nearly hits me but doesn't. And yeah, I'm just trying to maintain my Conquer stacks. Of course, for that to happen, we need them to be close enough for me to hit, which they're not really doing right now. So the stacks are of course falling off. So here I'm just getting the ward down. Nautilus goes on me, but he's alone, so he's not really going to do very much. Shyvana is coming in for the gank. Here I can't catch the X because I have to kind of run forward instead of backward. And Dragon is up. Tristana is really, really low, and so is Nautilus. Nautilus is not really low, but Tristana is. So here we're getting, again, a lot of free hits onto Nautilus. Here we're going for Tristana, who is very overextended. The ulti comes back and kills her, doubling the goal I actually get. Now here the minion problem is back again, where the minions are kind of pelting me. My team picks up the dragon, and here we're going to be able to get some tower plates as well. Kill is just coming here and taking tower plates, I guess. It is a... yeah, it is a Kayle top who has ditched her lane completely and is now coming to my lanes, taking the plates and now stealing my minion wave as well. Thank you very much. And in the meantime, Mordekaiser is just getting free plates as well. So in the end, I think Kayle actually loses out on the trade because we actually have evenly shared plates, whereas Mordekaiser is getting all the solo plating, so that's not good, of course. But here we are gonna head back to lane and back to fighting the two of them. Tristana somehow gets hooked from behind Nautilus again, and now stuck on 1 HP. I flash forward, Ignite eventually picks up the kill. Unfortunately, no cash in for me. And here Talon is coming in, and we remove his first strike using the stand aside. We pick up the fruit, and now we're going back in. Full stack Conqueror at this point. I can't really see my axes very well with these creatures around me. I still don't know what these three little monsters are called, but Talon and Nautilus end up having to back off. So this is the game which kind of led me to believe that Talon is really not that strong. I mean, he can't really one-shot me very well. We'll see soon. So here, again, Tristana, I don't know what she's doing. She ins and I get another huge cash-in. I mean, Tristana's not worth a lot of gold anymore, but my cash-ins are worth a lot of gold. Like, I cashed in there for 228 gold, whereas Tristana was only worth 150 gold, so my cash-in is more valuable than Tristana at this point. Here Nautilus goes in on me. Talon is now in, doesn't really do very much. Is focusing, of course, the Blitzcrank. I try to exhaust him to stop him from completing the kill, but it doesn't work out. Here Shyvana is coming in. I'm helping her out a little bit. I'm trying to chase down the Nautilus. She does get the kill, and here Talon as well eventually does kill me, but Shyvana does get the kill. Of course, I already had the cash in on Tristana, so I don't really lose too many stacks here. So it's not really the end of the world, and the tower is going to get taken down by Shyvana, so Shyvana gets the solo tower goal here. And I'm already really decently fed. I'm at 7.5k gold. You can see Teemo, who is like our mid laner, is actually like 5-1 as well. He has almost as much gold as me, which shows how fed he is. Where you can see we're far ahead of most other people in the game. Most fed member on their team is Talon, who has 6.7k gold and is still not really able to one-shot me, which is really unfortunate. Even after Talon got the buffs. So here, fight is breaking out in the bottom lane. I'm trying to go down and help, at the same time launching my ulti to try to snipe Talon. Not very successful on the snipe. But here I'm heading down with my Blitzcrank. Of course, I really want to hit Mordekaiser and not Nautilus. Nautilus is really tanky. Mordekaiser actually helps me by pulling me closer. The shield comes in. We are able to complete the kill, getting the cash in as well. Now, Nautilus is stuck by himself. He's really tanky, but he doesn't actually have any, anybody to help him. So here, Blitzcrank tanks tower a little bit. You can see I'm taking a ton of autos to kill him, but I do get it eventually. And Blitzcrank survives the tower shots as well. And, it's just a beautiful, beautiful situation overall. So here we get the reset, we complete IE, of course going into Blaster. Now there is of course an argument to go for, an earlier mole reminder, but honestly if you build like Blaster as your 4th item, it's not very ideal, I guess. But it could work, definitely. But at this point I'm thinking that, I with the IE I should be doing enough damage, right? So that's kind of my logic here. Clearing out the minions. And here Talon comes in, Nautilus ults me, I'm kind of getting caught, I don't think I can really get out, I exhaust the Mordekaiser, but here there's not a lot I can do. I try to get the trade kill onto Tristana last minute, not Tristana, sorry, I believe that was Talon last minute, but I didn't quite get the cash in. Now Shyvana is getting caught 1v4, she dies, only Kill is left alive, and obviously there's nothing she can do 1v4, so this is going to be a free, I believe, dragon for the enemy team if they decide to go for it. And you're just going to look at Kill defending the tower here. Nothing interesting really happening. Yasuo is pushing in and Kill is going to defend. The Yasuo looks like he wants to take a 1v1. Goes in with the knockup. Doesn't ult though, and now is dashing away and getting run down by my team. Teemo should get a free kill here. And in the meanwhile, I'm just here clearing wards. And I'm going to continue pushing mid here. We still have not yet gotten the mid lane tower, which is going to be crucial to opening up the map. So I'm trying to get that. Now here Nautilus comes in. He has ult, so I'm trying to be careful here. He could have ulted me there, to be honest, but only Mordekaiser is near him. And I mean, Mordekaiser could have ulted me too, but none of them decide to do that. And here Tristana dies again. Nautilus ults me, Talon tries to go in, and you can see here, Talon just does not one-shot me. I'm able to trade 1-for-1 and get the cash in before I die. I mean, yes, he did get the kill on me eventually, but he took so long to kill me. Like, before the durability patch, Talon would just one-shot me before I even had a chance to do anything, but in this case, I was able to ult, I was able to auto, and I was able to literally kill him before he killed me. Like, I only died to his poison at the very end there. But I was able to kill him first, which meant that I get the cash in and I get the goal and I get the completion of my magnetic blaster. And now my team is trying to clean up the rest. Nautilus is running, but he's in a 1v3. He has nowhere to go. And Teemo is continuing to get more and more fed. And here, yeah, I hear I'm 1v1 Tristana. I mean, I have Exhaust, I have Flash, but obviously I don't need to use it against the 0 and 7 Tristana. I mean, if she kills me there, there's a huge problem with the game. And just lifesteal back off of the minions. And here Yasuo is stuck in a 1v3. He's pretty much dead. I'm just joining up with my team because I'm expecting us to go Baron afterwards with like 2 people dead. So I'm just joining up. And here, maybe can get the mid lane tower first and then go to Baron. Enemy team is now coming to respond. We're just running toward Baron. It's a 5v3, so it should be alright. Just helping with the Baron DPS here. Dodging the Polymorph from the Baron. That's becoming a huge thing right now. You gotta really dodge that Polymorph. And we do get it. Now here Mordekaiser ults me. And I'm in a 1v1 with him. And I'm actually winning the 1v1 somehow. Flashing and dodging his abilities. And he lives on 1 HP, unfortunately, and I'm not able to kill him, but yeah, I outplayed him real hard there with the exhaust and with the flash. Honestly, of course, if I didn't have the summoner spells, it probably would have been me dying and not him. But yeah, this time I even pick up Stasis. Of course, Stasis in this match is just going to be really good. You can Stasis when Mordekaiser ults you, when Talon ults you, and Nautilus ults you, and Tristana tries to proc the bomb. So very high Stasis value in this game. Obviously, we're getting that. Here, obviously, red buff is not going to be shared with everybody, so we're going to quickly pick up that. Just catching them X's. And here, the Yasuo is going in on my Blitzcrank. I'm now going in on Yasuo. Wind Wall comes up, and he's trying to play around the Wind Wall really smart. But eventually, he is going to end up dying to Teemo. And we continue on with our push. Here, no one is really attending to this tower, so we're gonna quickly get that. I get hooked in here. Unfortunately, I pop the stasis to try to survive longer, and yeah, unfortunately I get chain CC. I'm trying to trade the kill, and I am able to trade the kill onto Tristana before I die, so once again I get the crucial cash in before I die. I mean, this is the kind of the second time I got completely caught out, but I was able to cash in before dying anyway. So in a sense, the death means a lot less because you don't remove all of Draven's stacks. He gets the cash in and he dies afterwards. It's not the end of the world for me. It's in fact a very ideal situation considering how badly I was kind of caught out in that situation. And here the final dragon is about to spawn. Of course, this is going to be sold for neither team, so it's not as valuable, but of course it's still an objective that's going to be contested, so I'm hurrying my way over. Shyvana though is on the wrong side of the map, and Talon is already on the objective, I believe. He's gone in too early though, so he's trying to get out. He's getting CC'd, and he actually just basically almost commits suicide there. Tristana almost gets one shot. Now I'm kiting away. I get ulted by Mordekaiser again here, I believe, but I'm slowly just killing him in the ult. Unfortunately, though, he eventually does get the kill on me. He almost dies, and down he goes now. Now my team is kind of cleaning up the rest of the fight. Blitzcrank's 1 HP, but doesn't die. Shyvana's going in. Tristana, of course, dies. And only Talon is left alive. And ironically, Talon is the one who jumped in and kind of baited his whole team in. And he's the only one that survived. So his whole team paid for his sins, which is really kind of unfortunate for his team. But here, Shyvana is going to do the dragon with the help of Teemo. Of course, nothing that the enemy jungler can really do. We get the dragon, and I guess Shyvana gets stacks if she has not yet reached full stacks. In the meanwhile, I'm still trying to get enough gold for my armor penetration item, which is going to help out a lot against both Mordekaiser as well as, of course, Nautilus. Nautilus is getting really, really tanky now with his tank items. And here, Talon's getting caught out. I'm trying to reach. I attack the buff there just to ensure I maintain my spinning axis. And now I'm just going to straight up do the buff since we still have the buff share. Here, my whole team is at Baron. I'm kind of joining up, again maintaining my spinning axis. Here I'm just hitting the first target, which happens to be the tanks. So here, we're going in onto basically the Yasuo here. They are kind of escaping, but Yasuo dashes back in. He knows he's dead right now, chasing Nautilus, who has really nowhere to go. Talon is now coming in to try to save Nautilus. But Nautilus is slowly but surely just getting run down by myself and Shyvana. Nowhere for him to go. And once again, the whole team is dead except for the Talon. So here, I'm going to just push in mid lane. And Objective Bounty actually gets a tower for the enemy team, which is a little bit unfortunate. Here, we are pinging for Baron, because obviously the whole team is dead except for the Talon. I'm able to back and get my Mole Reminder. And I'm headed straight over to the Baron. Shyvana is as well. Of course, there is a chance for a steal with the Talon still alive, but we're just going to hope that Shyvana can smite properly and hope that we can, of course, just zone Talon away. I mean, Talon is seen in mid lane. He's not even trying. So it's a free Baron for us. There we go. With Elder 30 seconds away. So obviously, I'm full health, full mana. I don't actually have to reset. So I'm just waiting for my team to reset and come back. Unfortunately, Teemo gets assassinated by Talon, and of course Teemo is a huge contributor to our team. I mean, he is very, very fed, so him dying is not good news. Here Nautilus is seen over there in the bush, so I have to back off a little bit. Now Nautilus is just tanking damage for free, so I'm just hitting him for free. I mean, I'm not doing the most damage. I full stack Conqueror now. Talon though is taking a little bit of damage here. Maintaining my stacks. Blitzcrank's chasing in and I'm following. Zeke's does proc, so I'm using that movement speed to run after the enemies. I'm not quite able to reach though, maintaining my stacks here. Talon gets caught, I flash forward, get the kill on him, get the cash in. Now Nautilus is now tanking a bunch of damage. I've got, you know, my Conqueror stacked up. I've got my double spinning axes and we're able to take both of them out. In the meanwhile though, my team ends up dying. Like Shyvana and Kale gets taken out, I believe in the bot side while we're busy chasing. So here, Elder Dragon is no longer very viable because it can be stolen by, you know, Tristan or Yasuo. We don't want to flip it, so we're just going for the safe play of going for the inhib. The wind wall is now out, and Yasuo tries to go in. I exhaust him. He does no damage after exhausted. Of course, he is building the tanky build, so he can't really do very much here. I get ulted by Mordekaiser once again. I have my stasis, so I'm just going to pop the stasis to buy a little bit of time. I come back out of the ulti, so Blitzcrank can now help me. And I'm still taking a bunch of damage, but I am able to kite out Mordekaiser. He almost dies. And for some reason, Tristana jumps in and just gets one-shot by me. I'm not sure what the plan was there. But Mordekaiser does survive as a result. Talon does not though, and Nautilus is now going to be the next target. They try to make a play, but it's not really working, and Mordekaiser gets run down by myself. And with that only, Nautilus gets run down by myself, and with that only Nautilus is alive. And here, I'm just having a bit of fun at this point. I'm not attacking the Nexus, I'm attacking the Mordekaiser just to farm a little damage and maybe get a free kill. But eventually my team does end the game and we do get the dub. So, as usual, I'm going to leave you guys with the stats. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and goodbye.